Pasquale's in the office.
Yes.
So showed him around, and you guys said that, we'll be down at the bar if you want to come by. And so I left, and then I actually crossed the street, and then went back across the street because I changed my mind. I was like, oh, okay, I'll go see Brad and Pascal.
Okay.
I was on my way home, and I should go back. You guys weren't there.
Yeah, sorry, we ended up taking off.
But Dan Reichert was.
At Kate O'Brien's?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And
What were you doing there?
By himself, just getting loaded.
He was by himself, and I walked in there, and we both just looked at each other and went, huh?
Wait, were you seriously at Kate's? You don't live anywhere near there.
I know. I was waiting for a date to get there, so
okay.
we'd go off to Hoodslam, which
see.
I'll let Drew take back over.
The most romantic of evenings.
Yeah,
of course.
He told me that's what he was doing, and I'm like, I'll just grab a beer. I'll wait. I don't want you to wait alone. I'll just have a beer with you.
I don't want to pry or anything, but how well do you know this girl?
Pretty well.
Was this like a previously agreed upon activity?
Yeah. I've known her for a bit.
Okay, you weren't like dragging her into something that she was not prepared for.
No, she was super good.
Because I saw the Vine that came out of that evening, and Hoodslam looks raucous.
Dan convinced me to go.
It looks like the type of thing that you might get hurt at, even being in the audience.
Yes,
based on what I saw.
Yeah, I don't recall what exactly tipped my scales.
I can be persistent.
I think so. Well,
he was like, "Come on, Drew, you can do it. Come on."
I'm the kind of person who's just like, I don't really have anything else to do. I will if it's spontaneous. Sure, fine. I can do things at the drop of a hat. So I decided to go to Hoodslam, which was in Oakland. Apparently, they also have a San Francisco. They come to San Francisco.
They've done it once in San Francisco. It's the first Friday of every month in Oakland.
But it is a amateur, independent,
yeah.
Independent wrestling.
Not all indie wrestling leagues. Actually, none of them are like Hoodslam. Hoodslam is an outlier for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know anything about wrestling.
Well, this is a great start.
Well, what was Hoodslam like for you?
So, first of all, it's at the Oakland Metro Opera House.
It is. It's a classy joint.
Oh, wow.
I thought it would be, but you just walk in there and it's a warehouse.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I thought it was just a warehouse.
It's a warehouse called an opera house.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know if they've ever had operas there.
Yeah,
but
no, that's cool.
They used to.
I got a
fucking professional wrestling rolled in.
Full pat down before I went in. They looked inside my bag and then gave me the whole thing. Like, this more strict than an airport. Walk in there, and it's just a giant wrestling ring. Hundreds of people crowded around it, and like a band in the upper level. There's like an upper level that they're just playing on.
So is this thing not seated at all?
No.
You just stand and watch?
No.
Okay.
And also, there's like 3 bars.
Okay.
Yeah.
on the edges. And I walk in there, and everyone's just doing this on the ring and stomping and clapping their hands. So I know,
it's the Terminator thing.
I know I'm already in for a good time.
Okay.
Everyone does that before these shows.
Yeah. And then, I don't know what, like, the band started playing.
Yeah, the band cuts into like a weird metal version of the Terminator theme.
Yeah. And then...
Is this a Hoodslam thing? Is this a wrestling thing?
It's a Hoodslam thing.
With the Terminator.
It's Hoodslam.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this guy comes out.
Broseph Joe Brody.
Yes. And he is wearing like, neon shorts, a tank top, a big, like a trucker hat.
And he's drunken swag on it.
Drunken swag, yes. And he's holding a bottle of, what was that, Jack Daniels?
He had a bottle of Jack, and he also has a bunch of Axe body spray.
Oh, yeah. So he came out with two bottles, cans of Axe body spray, and just started spraying them everywhere.
Great.
And then sort of announced that this was Hoodslam.
Motherfucking Hoodslam.
Yes, my mistake.
Yes.
And then wrestling happened.
Well, first he poured the contents of the whiskey bottle into everyone's mouth around the ring.
Yeah, so he goes up to each like corner of the ring and then like hangs over, flips everybody off first.
Says, "Fuck you, bro," to everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then pours whiskey in everyone's mouth.
And then wrestling?
And then wrestling happens.
Are the wrestlers at this thing part of any kind of regional circuit? Or is it just an anything goes, anybody can show up?
I mean,
like
these are... It's not just anyone off the street. It's not like in Spider-Man.
Okay.
Bonesaw.
Yeah.
Bonesaw was there.
Yeah, Bonesaw McGraw. He came in.
Yeah, it's not just anyone can just walk up. It's
right.
like I'm pretty sure
you have to
people
get
have been
vetted.
vetted. Yeah.
But is there a
they have to
league?
be... I don't know. I don't know how
They're local
works.
indie wrestlers. I mean, I've seen them. I went to another show on Saturday, and some of them were there too. So yeah, they're local guys.
But they don't. They have to have more than I think just the physical ability. They have to like have a character and be able to like be charismatic and improvisational and things like that.
A lot of showmanship at Hoodslam is my understanding.
I was fascinated at the amount of copyright infringement that I heard about.
Oh yeah.
Oh sure. Yeah.
Scorpion.
So I think the first match was El Chupacabra versus Link.
Okay.
And during the fight, over the loudspeakers, you hear, "Hey, listen."
What?
And then he like jumped out of the ring, went down, and like found a chest and held it up over his head.
Uh-huh.
Did it play the secret sound?
It did.
Was there a steel chair inside the chest?
No, as though he found a bomb.
He found a bomb, yeah. And then it was like just an inflatable bomb, and he threw it to somebody. And there were a bunch of other people in the ring, and then he like held it for a second, and then everyone like blew backwards. And he found the Master Sword, I think, later in the match.
Yeah. Chupacabra was really scared of that sword.
He was, yeah. So like the thing that I was most surprised by is that with the frisking and everything, and like the very intense nature of everything, and like all the middle fingers,
cursing,
and all the cursing,
drinking
and violence on the stage, everyone in the audience was having a really like positive time and was having fun. Like it was not, people were not angry. There was no animosity. It wasn't like, like angsty teenagers, like, yeah, backyard wrestling, man. Like I remember seeing a Frontline episode or something when I was a kid about backyard wrestling or like independent wrestling. And
Which
it was
used to be
frightening.
like pretty bloodthirsty.
Yeah. It was like people actually hitting each other with chairs and stuff. This was not that. This was let's make this as ridiculous as possible. There was Cereal Man he just pulled cereal out of his head and threw it into the crowd.
Okay.
And then Scorpion came out, and Cereal Man tried to offer him some cereal, and then he uppercut the cereal.
Okay. This sounds like a show.
It is.
It is
perhaps one of the most entertaining live experiences I have ever been to.
This is not the blood sport that I thought amateur wrestling usually
it's not.
is.
It's all like pro wrestling. It's all like they whisper to each other what they're going to do, and then they do it. I've got to believe the outcomes are predetermined.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. It's all theatrics, but so. For the first couple matches, everyone was like, just doing it in the ring. They'll get up on the corner and jump in and like tackle a guy or whatever. But then like I would see I was I don't know, maybe 10 feet back from the stage at this point, and people would fall out of the ring and then like, but not to the ground. They would like, onto the ring would stick out from the ropes a little bit. So I figured, there's a couple feet over there that they can just fall into. No, it's like 12 inches that somehow they land on. And then below that, it's just concrete.
No mats?
No
mats.
And like, but there's no barricade.
There's no barricade.
No.
Okay,
you are up
there's no
against the rope.
There's no ringside. It's just the crowd is there.
And they will occasionally do like sentons over the top and stuff, and you just got to get the fuck out of the way.
Right. So what happens is,
All right.
there was a guy who got out of the ring, and then a guy climbed up on one of the corners, and then jumped into the crowd like a front flip. And the crowd was not expecting it.
Was that Drugs Bunny?
That was the second time that happened.
Okay.
The first time it happened was, I think, one of the Stoner Brothers.
Oh, yeah, Rick Scott and Scott Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it was during that match. But, like, these people are wearing heavy boots, and, like, they're just flying into the crowd. Like,
Yeah.
people could get really hurt in this thing. It's like, and the crowd was not expecting it, so...
But people got out of the way. I mean,
You do. You get out of the way. I mean,
those people flinched and I guess did not get hurt.
Yeah.
But after that, people learned that, okay, they could see things coming. Like the vine that I put up was Drugs Bunny doing the same thing into the crowd, and people had learned by that point, so they kind of backed up.
The first time someone told me about Hoodslam, they led with, there's a character named Drugs Bunny.
Yeah.
And right there, I was pretty sold on it.
I still have, quote, cocaine on my bag from when he flung it out into the audience.
yeah.
It's gimmick infringement. I don't know that I approve of that.
Also, if you're familiar
Tracksuit versus Drugs Bunny.
if you're familiar with the yes chant, his is drugs, drugs, drugs.
Well, okay.
We didn't even get into Pooh Jack, who is just New Jack from ECW, but dresses as Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, so-
still plays the same gangster rap and everything.
Not
Comes out
actually
with the trash
New Jack,
can.
though.
No.
Yeah, okay.
It's-
The way you said that sentence for a second,
No,
I was
it's-
like, is it actually?
Imagine exactly what New Jack does with the same music, with a trash can full
Yep.
of weapons, the music
Uh-huh.
playing for the whole thing.
Yep.
But it's Winnie the Pooh, so he's Pooh Jack.
Great, perfect.
So I don't
see that.
have any of this knowledge.
There's a lot of that.
Everything is weird.
It's weird if you
At
know
one
it.
point, like a bunch of people dressed in like scary clown masks got up and tried to like take over Hoodslam, but then one of them took off his mask and and his shirt and was wearing a Hoodslam T-shirt, so he was a heel turn from within that organization.
Well,
so
no, that's a babyface turn from the heel organization. I think that was Batman Noel. He's a Mexican guy with a Batman mask.
yeah,
Okay.
Batman. Well,
Batman, well, yeah.
That checks out.
yeah. So, but then and they also threw glitter. I still have glitter on the bottom of my
I
shoe.
have it on the top of my shoe.
Yeah, from that. I also, whenever wrestlers jump, like they will not only get out of the ring, they will fight outside the ring. So like you have to get out of the way too. So like beer is going everywhere. I got a whole bunch of beer on my shirt.
You smell when you get back from Hoodslam.
Oh yeah,
There's all kinds of smells going on from Hoodslam.
yes, and like a surprising amount of drug use
Yeah.
in the ring.
Yeah, they're pretty open about that there.
Yeah. Also,
Wait, did you say in the ring?
oh yeah.
Huh.
Well, there's
Like-
the Stoner
like
Brothers
in the
They
crowd.
I'm not really sure how like a WrestleMania goes. Are there like different? Is it like this where there's like a match between these two guys, and then like okay, that's done. Now we have a match between these four guys, and then the
Yeah.
rules are this.
Oh yeah, there'll be like gimmick matches and
Yeah.
stuff. But like, what was the name of the gimmick match? Where like to win, you had to be the one to finish that like giant blunt or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So like there were four people. It was a tag team match. So two people would get in, they'd fight, and then I think the other people, like you had to pin your opponent, and then the other guy smoked that joint.
Huh.
And then, but if he got out of that pin, you had to give it back to the ref, and then like
Yeah.
the other team would pin the other guy, and then they would smoke that joint, and they would have to whoever finished that joint.
That's pretty flagrant.
And it's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
not gimmick stuff. Like they will take stuff like the referee will take like a bowl from the crowd and just smoke it in the ring.
Yeah, like I would be surprised to be at an event like that and not smell weed smoke in the crowd, but to see
It was
see it written into
thick.
to see it written into the show though is
Yeah.
is,
Well, like one of
All
these-
of those wrestlers have glaucoma.
or back problems.
Yes.
One of their events is called the Smoke Arena of Time. I mean, it's kind of part of the gimmick of the organization to where like
All right, I need to go to the show. This is too ridiculous now.
It's so weird, and even like
Excuse me, it's pronounced Smock Arena.
oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Brosif Joe Brody got over the loud. He's calling the match, by the way.
You can hear the commentary live, which is not a common thing with wrestling.
Oh, really?
Oh no, that's
That
the only
totally
place I've seen
makes
that.
it like that.
Yeah, it's I actually kind of don't necessarily like seeing wrestling live because there's no commentary.
Yeah.
Football, same way. You know, it's
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
without the insight of the commentators. Insight's maybe a bit of a
Jerry Lawler.
I was going to say.
without Jerry Lawler.
But it's like he gets excited, you know, and
spin on
like
things.
that you feed off that. But
Yeah.
he mentioned at one point. So if I say the words blueberry pancakes are now being served at the concession stand, that means the police are coming. So get rid of your drugs.
I'm pretty sure this whole organization is super duper illegal. Like it kind of has to be. But it's a hell of a show.
I feel like we're blowing up their spot in a really bad way.
Yeah, this could be severely uncool.
If you go to their website, I
Yeah,
mean, this is
they're
all
very-
like, I mean,
they're
they call
very
this
upfront
Smoke
about
Arena of Time. Like,
Yeah,
this is
they are very-
their thing.
it's-
Yeah.
It was very entertaining.
Yeah,
I
so-
would highly recommend it. Even if you don't know wrestling, if you just want to see something weird and like maybe get kicked in the face, go to Hoodslam.
Can you just show up? You don't need to worry about it selling out or
It's
anything.
a $10 cover.
Yep, just show up, $10
You
at
don't
the
need
door.
don't need to worry about tickets in advance or anything.
No, I've never done that.
There was enough space for more people there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That can be tough to see.
got like it was a 3.5 hour show. We wormed our way up to the ring by the end of it.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah,
That sounds like a hell of an evening.
it was awesome.
Next time they come to the city, I might have to.
I'm not sure I could do it for a while.
What is it? Once a month?
It's the first Friday of every month, and then like if the San Francisco one was any indication, that'll be just kind of random within the month or whatever.
Yeah.
So the Oakland thing is set.
All right.
It's a good show.
Oh boy.
And then some of these guys ended up. These are like APW guys, and
Yeah, I went to APW the next night, and like
One of them you said was a pro wrestler at one point, right?
I mean, they're all technically pro wrestlers, even if they're on the indie. If you're getting paid, you're a pro wrestler. Amateur is like the real thing, like you're wrestling in high school, you know. But
I meant that like he was
that's like the Grecian
the
sport.
WWE.
That's what you're saying.
yeah, the Funkasaurus, Brodus Clay was at the APW show I went to. But yeah, the guy who plays Ryu from Street Fighter and Hoodslam was there with a different gimmick, and this guy Virgil Flynn III was there at the APW show. And Kevin Gill was there. He was the commentator.
yeah.
And,
Whoa! Wait,
Yes.
really?
So Kevin
What?
Gill went from making those backyard wrestling games for
Yeah.
IDOS. He now does commentary for a lot of different independent wrestling stuff. Like he has worked with the ICP on their
Oh
wrestling
yeah, no.
stuff.
I mean, that's when I
Yes, that's right.
worked with him, interviewed him and stuff.
You interviewed him when you interviewed ICP,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So that's I believe he is completely out of video games. I think he does some animation stuff. I'm not
Okay.
sure
he
if
does a podcast. And
yeah. So he is.
But wrestling is a like semi full time thing now for him.
Seems like it.
That makes sense.
He refs. I think he refs a lot and does commentary.
And I think he's done work
nuts.
with Hoodslam, too. I haven't seen him there yet, but I think
Yeah.
he used to before I moved here.
Wow.
good guy.
Yeah,
Good guy.
Yeah, he was always a nice guy. Well, that sounds like a very full Fred evening, especially one that you weren't expecting to happen, and then, until it just
I
happened.
was thinking, I'll go home, whatever. Nope, you're going to Hoodslam for 3 hours.
Dan, what did your date think?
Yeah, she had a great time.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going to those.